It doesn't matter if you work remotely, if you work from home, or if you work from an office, chances are you are using video conferencing more and more often. So in today's video, I want to share with you 7 of my favorite tips for getting the most out of Zoom meetings. Hello everyone, Scott Friesen here at Simpletivity, helping you to get more done and enjoy less stress. And let's dive right in. Here I am within my Zoom meeting, and I'm sharing a screen here at the moment, but my very first tip for you has to do with one of my favorite shortcut keys. So let me actually stop sharing for just a moment here, and I'm going to open up my participants window here. So often I'm on a call with 5, 7, 10, 20 or more people, and suddenly there's some background noise, and it's interrupting either my presentation or something that I'm saying at the moment. So one of my favorite shortcut keys is the ability to mute everyone instantaneously. Now, yes, here I can select that mute all option, but I don't always have this window open. I may be in the middle of showing or doing something else. So all I need to do is select Alt-M on my keyboard. That's Alt-M, and that will immediately mute everyone else. Alt-M, of course, for PC, it is Command-Control-M if you happen to be a Mac user. And if you just hit it again, of course, you're going to unmute everyone as well. Now, this can be really helpful, especially if someone else is working remotely and you hear a dog barking or some other background noise on someone else's line. You'll notice here in the Manage Participants area that that microphone is moving when I'm talking, but it stops when I'm not talking. So this can be a clue for you to help find that individual. If you just want to mute that one person, but if you need to, or if you don't need the time, don't have the time to identify that individual, you can use Alt-M to mute everyone else. So let's go into sharing my screen. I'm going to share my entire desktop at the moment here. And one of my pet peeves for the longest time with using Zoom, when I'm sharing my screen, is that this little floating menu here, which is very helpful as I make different options here, it sort of hides many of my tabs. And you can see I've got a tab open right here. You don't know how many times I've accidentally stopped sharing because I actually wanted to select this browser tab, but I hit stop sharing instead. Well, there is a way that we can minimize this all together. And what you need to do is come over here to More and come all the way down to Hide Floating Meeting Controls. Now, yes, there is a shortcut key, Control-Alt-Shift-H. I don't know how much of a shortcut that is if you need 4 keys to do so. So I usually just select this manually, but if I select this, you can see that that floating Zoom menu is gone. So now I can go here, I can click through all of these tabs at ease. Nothing is in my way. And if I need to get back to that menu, all I need to do is select Escape on my keyboard. Very quickly, one more time, Hide Floating Meeting Controls. It's telling me right here, press Escape. If I need to show it again, I can go about my presentation. I can use my computer the way I want. And then I can hit Escape to get that menu back and visible to me. All right, let's go back. This time around, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm actually going to go into my settings here, my Zoom meeting settings. Let's go back. Here we are into the desktop app. Let me just move my move my picture here for a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little gear icon, which is called Settings. Now, there's an awful lot of settings that you can tweak and adjust here within Zoom, but I want to focus on 2 important ones, or at least they're very important to me. The first one is under video, and yes, you can preview your video. You can choose a different camera if you need to here as well. But the one that I always turn on is this one, turn off my video when joining a meeting. By default, whether I'm the host or whether I'm joining someone else's Zoom meeting, I want my video to be turned off. Now, the reasoning for this is that I want to make sure that I initiate that video. I don't want to click a link on something and then forget that, oh yeah, that's right, I'm on video, and what's behind me, or what's going on? Do I have my mic set up? All this type of thing. So by default, I want to have my video turned off when I either host or join any type of Zoom meeting, and then I can initiate it, right? I can initiate it with a single click. The other tip that I want to share with you here within settings has to do with video, but it has to do with something that's called virtual background. And this is something that Zoom has had for a little while, but maybe you've never experimented with virtual background before. So here you can see I've got nothing here in the background. You can just see the background of my office here. But what Zoom allows you to do is to upload other images that you would like to add as your background. And you don't need a green screen. You can see I don't have a green screen behind me here. I can just select one of these images and put them as my background. Now I'm showing you some of the default images here. I also wanted to show you can upload actual images. You can have an image, a video background if you want. Here are the Northern Lights. Here's the a tropical seaside if you want to. But the one that I choose to use most often, this is one that I created. It's very, very simple. It's mostly black. It's mostly dark. But it also has my logo in the corner. So the reason why I use this virtual background more and more often is, number one, I don't have to care about what's going on in the background. I may be at a busy cafe. I may be working from my kitchen island at home, and I don't have to worry that there's a fridge and a dirty stove behind me because I've got my virtual background working here. The other nice benefit that I like here is that I can actually add some branding. So here you can see I've got my logo in the top corner. You can have your full name. You can have an icon, whatever you would like to add to it. You can add your own colors if you want to. So it adds a little bit of branding to it as well. And the next one on our list I want to show you is actually something that I use every single day. In fact, this is probably the most used feature that I use when it comes to Zoom, and it has to do with scheduling your meetings. So I'm going to jump into Google Calendar, and I'm going to open up this little fake meeting that I set up here, and I'm going to go into the edit mode. Whether you use Microsoft Outlook or whether you use Google Calendar, I implore you to download and use the add-ons or extensions for your calendar. So in this case, I have the Google Calendar, the Google Chrome extension installed. You can see up here, I've got that little icon. This allows me to schedule a meeting if I want to, or I can start a meeting immediately. It even gives me conveniently the option to start with video off or start with video on. But the other bonus, as you can see here, as I'm creating this meeting within Google Calendar, is I have an additional button called Make It a Zoom Meeting. So as I'm adding the title and my guests and maybe a few other details, with just a single click, I can say, make it a Zoom meeting. And here I've got that meeting link here under the location area. And if I scroll down to the description, it's got all this other great information, which my guests are going to need, whether it's the link. I mean, they can click this link right away, but depending on where they are, they can use the one-tap mobile option. If they need to dial in by a phone, if they can't connect by audio by their computer, they can choose one of these dial-in numbers as well, all in a single click. And then when I come back in here, when it's time for this meeting, all I have to do is select join the Zoom meeting. I don't have to click somewhere else. I don't have to go to the Zoom interface. I can just say join the Zoom meeting, and it's going to launch it for me and dive right in. So whether you're an Outlook user or a Google user, please download the extension so that you can get even more out of this tool. Now, the other thing that I want to show you, and we'll just stick on this this dummy meeting invite here, is a couple of settings here, or a couple of options, I should say, with this floating menu. And the two in particular are New Share and Pause Share. So at the moment, I'm sharing my screen right now, pretty common, pretty standard here within Zoom. But a lot of people are not familiar with what these actually mean or how they should be using them. So in this case, if I want to move from this showing you my browser here, and I want to go to, say, a Word document, all I need to do is select New Share, and now I can go and find that other document or that other place that I would like to share. So let's say it is a Word document. So I'm going to click on this Word document. Remember, no one in my meeting is seeing this window. I'm seeing this because I'm the organizer and I'm wanting to share something at the moment. As soon as I click on this Word document and select Share, I'm instantly taken to that Word document, and so is everyone else that is viewing this screen share. So they don't see any of that, me selecting it. They don't see me looking for a folder, nothing along those lines. And if I want to go back up here and I say New Share, and I want to go back to the web, I can select it and say Share. I'm instantaneously brought back here. So you can remove all sort of that clunky feeling of minimizing, maximizing, finding the thing that you want to share next, make it a really smooth transition for those people who are on the meeting with you. The other one is Pause Share. Now, this can can be used very similarly if I want to say, just pause, and here you can see your screen sharing is paused, and then I could go and find that document. But the other great thing I find about the pause function is that, let's say I'm giving a presentation, I want to review some notes, or I want to go look something else up, but I don't want everyone else to know that I'm looking that up, or I'm finding this special number, or whatever the case may be. I can hit pause and they can remain on this screen. It's as if nothing else has happened. I can go back and find some information, go reference a file, that type of thing. And then when I'm ready, I can just say resume share, and here I am back on this screen. I can hit pause and I could go somewhere else as well if I want to, but take a look at both new share and pause share to make your presentations and make your screen sharing just a little more polished. And then the last thing, the final tip today that I want to share with you has to do with annotations, something that I think gets overlooked. Here it is. It's the very last option before more, and yet it's so valuable. If you click annotate, there's a variety of different ways that you can highlight things on your screen. A few of my favorites, one would be spotlight. Here it adds a little red spotlight. So if people have trouble following your cursor, you want to make sure people know exactly what you're talking about, they can follow you along with this little red spotlight. There's also this little arrow. It's like an arrow stamp. So if I want people to look at this guest field, I can click over here or I can highlight and then click. Do you see this little white arrow? No one is seeing this. No one on my meeting is actually seeing this. It's not until I click on it, it's going to put this little stamp here with my name so they know that I'm the one who placed it there. Because remember, you can allow other people to annotate as well. And if you want to undo or redo, you can always click these buttons here as well, or hit clear to clear all of your drawings. You can draw, you can add text, you can add other stamps. This arrow is a little bit different. This allows you to keep permanent arrows. So instead of one at a time, I can go down a variety of fields here. And again, I can hit undo if I want to go back, or just clear all my drawings. So annotate can be a really helpful one as well. So I'd love to hear from you next. Which of these 7 tips were your favorite? And did I miss anything? Is there a special Zoom meeting tip that you love to use? Make sure you share that with us and with the rest of the Simpletivity community down below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.